Okay, there.
Perfect. Okay. So what I showed you the video for is I met these guys at a group the night before, and they're like, hey, come on over to film some videos. Okay. Why did I show you this one? Because it wakes you up. It causes emotional response to make your body react to what the heck's going on. I put these videos out the last about a year and a half, 2 years now. It's been phenomenal. Okay. Helps me improve my practice for one too. But lets people know exactly what we do as chiropractors. People have no idea. As a chiropractor, what I do is adjust the spine, yes. Also do an examination and even x-rays to make sure it's safe. Last year we did 14,000 adjustments last year. It's a lot of people, okay? We had 0 injuries because we take the precautions like you do here to learn the examinations, learn how to talk to people, learn how to listen. We'll talk about all this in my talk today. But what you're doing initially now is understanding what you need to do to make your patients, future patients, healthy. And over time, make sure it's safe. So if you prescribe a drug that hurts them, what happens? They die sometimes. Prescribe a therapy can cause more injury. What's the number one thing that we have to do as healthcare practitioners? Number one thing. Hippocrates said back in 5 BC. You know who Hippocrates is? Okay, do no harm. Okay, that's the plan. Learning the examinations, everything you're doing here with Ms. Garcia allows your body to, not your body, but your mind, understand what it takes to do things right away all the time. I don't have a book I go through, teaches me what the exams are as a chiropractor, my patients. We saw 70 people yesterday. I run through in my head what they need, boom, boom, boom. It takes practice, 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 practice. Okay. The goal with you guys is understand that when you practice over and over again, like playing guitar, playing sports, what happens? You get better, right? It goes from conscious to unconscious. Someone tells you a symptom, you go right away, it might be this, let's go over to this, let's try this test to verify or deny that diagnosis. So you start big and work your way small, correct? Okay, any questions so far? You guys like the video? Yes, sir.
How do you not break someone's neck?
I go on like this. Please help me out. I take the x-rays first. Good question. I do the examination first. I look for past medical history of, say for example, their neck, where they actually may have torn their carotid sinuses, had neck injuries from an accident, had problems with dizziness or vertigo when they turn your head to left or right or backwards. Okay, I want to make sure everything here is stable enough. If I'm going to do that aggressive adjustment, they're going to actually feel better, not worse. Okay? Next is the x-rays. X-rays are a diagnostic tool for chiropractors, even medical doctors too. Look at the structure. Is anything broken, torn, or dislocated? If we try to adjust that's broken, torn, or dislocated, it can make things actually worse again. So we want to take all precautions. When I adjust them the first time too, I want to make sure it's safe for them. They feel comfortable mentally and physically. And over our body can handle that emotion. What I do first is who wants to be my demonstrator? Good, but hold off for now. Okay. Is I do is take their neck and take them to end point, where I full stretch them, and see if that's okay with them. And at that point, I can go a little bit further to the actual adjustment. Maybe another 3 or 4 degrees, that's it. At that point, I know it's between those 3 or 4 things, I know it's as safe as possible without somebody didn't tell me what was going on in their past history. All right. Any other questions yet? Yes?
Has there ever been a time where you couldn't decide which, when you did their x-rays where you couldn't decide what to do with them?
Yes, there is. Okay, there's always not a problem where you go, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, what I do is use what's called a DAC bar, a chiropractic radiologist. I send a picture of the x-rays. Hey, what do you think? He's my back and my go-to. Also work with a partner too. My partner, same thing. Hey, here's some x-rays, some exam findings, some history findings. What do you think? Having 2 chiropractors in that same office allows us to work together to have one diagnosis off of 2 ideas of what's going on. Anything else yet? You guys are awake? Good. Okay. Starting off, we need to know where to be. Okay. Healthcare practitioners, what we do is right now you guys are in science classes, correct? We're getting in science classes. Okay. Why do you need science classes? Why is that important? Why can't you just look at YouTube every day? Why is science classes important?
Because you have to learn all the names.
What's that?
Because you have to learn all of the body parts.
Terminology, right? Okay, terminology for 1, 2, where things are, anatomy. links of how things work for 1, 2. This is your gateway to a future healthcare practitioner. Okay? The next school you're going to go through after high school, maybe a 2-year, 4-year, whatever it is, they require certain testing to get into that school. Certain level of, you want to call it competency, so when you go to their classes, you're not going to fail out. You want to make sure you're going to go to their schools and be able to handle their program. Because what happens is right now, anyone play baseball or softball before? Okay, good. Okay. When you start out and when you're, say, 5, 6 years old, what happens? Hit off of a tee, right? Okay? Over time, then the one parent comes out and throws you balls and tries to throw at the plate. Over time, another kid comes up, starts throwing the ball, maybe 60 miles an hour, still lobbing it. Over time, it gets faster and faster and faster. Right now, you're probably at the T-ball, maybe another kid passing to you, type of difficulty or intensity of classes. Once you get to a college or a medical system program class, you're going from there to not the professionals, but pretty quick, maybe 70, 80 miles an hour. Because you have to be able to adapt to that very quickly. If you're not here to get to here, if you're down here, it's going to be very difficult to get there. Okay, what's the best way to learn for you? I don't know. What are different ways to learn? How do we learn? What senses do we use? What do you think?
Visual learnings.
What?
There's some visual learnings.
Yep, exactly, right? Some people are visual, right? How else can we learn?
Honestly.
Good. Okay, so go ahead. Auditory, right? You can listen to things, you can watch things, you can write things down. See, when I was in school, we didn't have this stuff. I didn't even have computers. We had like paper and pen. So we learned as a high school, elementary school kid, junior high kid, even college kid, is this how I learned from my pen, my paper, to my brain. Everybody's different. You have so many options now, watching YouTube, watching videos, go to Khan Academy, whatever it is. So you get that idea of how things are going to work for you. Learn that way. You may not even hear what I'm saying right now. You may watch my video later, hint, hint. At that point, get it better that way. It's not up to me, it's up to you what's going to work for you. Okay? Any questions yet? So when I teach my patients about health and how health works, I talk to them. I do a presentation with them. I send them videos, how to stretch, how to strengthen. I walk them and I show them models, actual models, have them touch and feel that model. So whatever works for them to learn how their body's working or not working at that point, that's why they're in pain, I want them to learn about that. So by the time they leave the first visit, they go, this is why I have the problem. This is why medication works. This is why I'm feeling this way. And then from there I can teach them how to get better and over time get better on their own so they stay healthy on their own. I'm too busy as I gotta get them better to see somebody else. All right. Anything else yet? Yes?
How important is stretching? Like,
Huge. Stretching allows the muscles, joints, ligaments to get more blood flow. If my muscle is stuck to where it's like this, it's contracted, sorry, it's not just a small bicep muscle, is how do you get blood flow in there? If there's no blood flow, the muscle will over time atrophy and shrink, even cause disease or infection. The circulatory system in your body allows things to actually move better. The more you stretch, especially sitting all day long in a classroom, allows your body to actually get more blood flow to your brain. If your brain has more blood flow, more oxygen, what happens? You don't get exhausted by your last period. You're like, oh my gosh, when's this class going to be over? If you're not tired right now, hopefully not. But it allows you to get that energy throughout the day without drinking coffee all day. Allows your body to move better. Okay, as you get older, like me, because I'm ancient at 45, allows me to keep moving. I don't leave my house or walk my dog before I stretch for about 15 minutes. Okay, so stretching is very important for your body. Okay, anything else? Second video. Garcia, let's see how this one works for you.
Okay, so
Yeah, we'll back out of that one. There it is, yep. Number 2, watch this. Who likes? Anyone back? Any help? All right, we have a light cam person. One person. Let's see. All right, watch your ears, people. Watch your ears.
yeah, we have a slow.
It's okay. It'll take time. That slow?
It is. Okay.
There we go.
Wait, what?
What's that?
Okay. Reload.
Yeah, just load them still. Here we go.
Oh no. That's last day of screens.
Suspenseful.
Come on. Come on.
Everyone turn off your phones. Slow down the Wi-Fi. That helps, I don't know. Okay, there it is.
I'm gonna set up. Okay.
He's gonna get you ready, Rilla.
Is he crying?
Yeah, you're fine. Okay.
Honey, really, this is gonna be okay.
That's right.
Remember, it's gonna make you feel better.
Turn your head first. Okay. I'm gonna have you go right here. Okay, good. That's a lot of pressure. Nothing really out your probably. Yes.
See, I can't do this stuff for you, honey.
Okay.
This is where we made you made the appointment.
You didn't need it. This is not the harder side, sir.
And remember, breathe, relax.
You take your breath in, all the way out. Bring your hands together so. How'd that go? Does that feel okay? Yeah. It's exciting, right? But it feels okay. Oh, what exciting! That's the hard part. No, mid-back. We're doing mid-back. Oh, okay. Deep breath in. I got it. Breathe it in all the way out. Right there. Oh my God! Right here. Deep breath in all the way out. See? Easy. This is going to be the easier, no, maybe like the middle easier one. Really middle?
Not yet.
Go back. Okay. One on your shoulder and on your hip facing this way. On your side.
This is nice. This is the part that you want me to do for you.
Okay. Right here.
Yeah, back. Yeah, back.
Right here.
Oh God.
Right
I
here.
feel stretch.
Right there. Real easy, right? Deep breath in. All the way up. The shoulder relax.
Oh, wait.
Right there.
Did anything pop?
Yep. Right there.
It did?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Still good.
That's that. Other side.
This is gonna be great when it's edited. So great.
Okay.
There you go.
Say hi, honey.
Hi.
Relax.
Just feel like it.
Oh,
Deep breath in. All the way up. Can you bring your head back for me?
is that?
Yep. That's the one.
Is that the one that I can't get?
Okay.
How's that?
Okay.
Good. Let's stand up, see how you feel.
Okay.
Deep breath in.
He's got a small leg, right? Pretty small guy.
How you doing? How's your back feel?
Head still on?
Still connected?
Okay. How's the pressure feel in the neck, mid back, and low back?
I feel that better in the back.
Really?
Lower back, yeah.
Now just go.
It was locked up before.
Yeah.
You can lift your knees. The lunge?
Little lunges.
Okay, that's good.
Oh wow, look at that. Did you see
And
that?
I'll do it again.
That's like, you know,
Oh!
You
You
see
can
that?
practically put your palm
Look at
down.
this. You see that?
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
All right.
sorry.
You just
Hit the lights. Hit the lights.
Pretty good. Sorry.
That's okay.
Very good. Okay. So that's the exciting things that happen in my office. I don't know what's going to happen. These are all spontaneous. So my job is to make sure I educate my patients how chiropractic works, but make sure there's always a camera around somewhere. I adjusted his wife. Mars is an actor in Hollywood. You've probably seen him in some of the action movies, even like Star Trek, things like that too. Okay? And his wife, I dressed his wife first, and he sprinted out of the room. Sprinted. I'm like, what is going on? She's like, he's definitely scared. I'm like, great, we're gonna videotape him afterwards. Again, the results, right? Okay, chiropractic videos, they get a lot of views over on YouTube. This one has like 115,000 views. Okay, this is what I did. A lot of it is we don't know what's gonna happen. So by showing that, again, emotional response, so you understand how chiropractic works. And if you watch the video all the way through, understand it helps you. Even a guy that's as tall as the door, as wide as the door. Everyone's different. Okay, but my job again with him, x-rays first, examination, what's going on. Lower back's the issue. When I lift weights, I can't lift weights, it hurts. It pops a lot, it builds the pressure. That's why I saw him. Okay. Any question about the video? Nothing? Okay. Yes?
Is there different procedures that you need to take with different patients?
Yes. If I have little old ladies, I will not adjust them like that. Sometimes I use a little bit of a gun per se, or really light based on what they need. Sometimes it's just stretching. Okay, whatever's gonna make them feel better, I will do to make sure they feel a little bit better when they leave. Yes?
Have you ever adjusted like a little baby?
Not a little baby, but kids like 4 or 5 years old, once they can walk. There are chiropractors that do focus on that though.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen videos. Scary.
Infants 1, 2, they'll do very low pressure for 1, 2. When you're an infant, as you all were hopefully before, right? Not aliens. Okay. Our spinal cord is very loose, very limber, very pliable, and so is our spinal column too. Just adding pressure to the spine and allows those ligaments and joints to move. So a lot of good results with kids. I'm not certified for this. I focus on kids that can actually, once they walk, I see them. I have a patient right now, Harvey, he's 93 years old. So from 4 or 5 years old to 93 years old. Depends what they need. Okay. With healthcare, who wants to see people? Who wants to treat patients? Who wants to be a radiologist? Phenomenal possession, ultrasound too. That's you're kind of a step away from patients. You can treat patients. Another thing you have to remember is, do you care? Okay, I do a talk on caring in healthcare. A lot of it is, how do you know if you can care for patients one-on-one? How can you be with them to show them you can care, so they get that too? Okay, what's a good way to practice that? Is in the classroom, that's start, right? Okay, working on one of your students for 1, 2. Anyone have older uncles, aunts, grandparents? Okay, we all do. Do they tell you stories? Yes. Sometimes same story over and over again. Sometimes the same sitting over and over again. Okay? Can you sit there and listen to them and understand what they're saying and get them to buy into that you're listening to them? When I do my talks at senior homes, senior citizen places, Gibbs Center downtown too, a lot of them sometimes show up our seniors. Then one thing to talk about with doctors, their problem with doctors is they don't listen. If you don't listen, how do you understand a patient's problem? If you don't give them quick feedback, how do you know to give them the right diagnosis, the reason they're coming in, to help them get better when they leave your office? You have to listen to people. By talking to older people sometimes, they have the time. I'm taking a guy, Herman, for lunch today. He's my old cameraman. Is a lot of it is you get the experience and the training, what it takes to sit there when you're in a good mood or not a good mood. Doesn't matter. When you come to your office, it's not about you, it's about them. Comes to my office, I walk in, I've had a bad morning, blah, 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 whatever it is too. I don't know what happens, whatever. Okay? I walk in, I have to do this to be with them, for them. Doesn't matter what's my problem, you're there to talk about their problem. Any questions about that? With that sense too, who has started doing internships or volunteering? We're talking to Mentors Healthcare. Good. Okay, good start. Now's the time. You have the time. Even if you're in class, say 8 hours a day, how many bills do you pay every week, every month? You pay for a utility bill, food bill? Probably not. When you get older, what happens is you have more things on your plate to worry about. Now's the time to spend after school today or this weekend. We're going to go and volunteer, go and help, whatever I can do to get some experience to know if I care. Can I learn that trait, what it takes to mentor someone or shadow someone so they understand, you understand how you're going to work in the real world. Once you get out and start having to make money eventually, hopefully, right? Not going to live at home forever. But can you actually start learning those traits to make yourself more valuable to that office, that hospital, that center? When you go and volunteer in internships, Same thing. It's not about you, it's about them. Okay? The biggest thing you want to, if you're going to do this, is go and see what they need help with and help them with that. Sometimes it's not about being with patients, it's about helping with their social media, with their computer work, whatever it is, whatever you're good at, which sometimes they're not because they're dinosaurs, like I am or sometimes was before too. Allow them to benefit them so they see you as invaluable assets for their office. I have 2 interns one from Upland right now, one from Rancho, and a lot of what I do is have them run the back office for me, and I have them shadow with me also so they see what I do every day. I did talk at Alta Loma ROP last Thursday. That's what it's about. What are you in here for? To go and shadow me to see how this works and help the back office with what they need for a patient. So they're working sometimes with patients one-on-one because they've been trained that way over a short period of time, how to get there, how to understand. So they go and talk to their other classmates that are doing that. They go, wow, it's amazing what you can learn just by observing and then talking to people. These I see with interns, and they come in, they're very shy. Okay, because they don't know what to do. Over time, they start jabbing and jabbing, like, stop talking so much. Okay, because they're comfortable. Once you're comfortable, what happens? You start talking more. Okay, I had an intern, let me know if I'm good on time.
You're good.
I had an intern about 5 years ago, Samantha, from here, from this class, she was, I think, second or third period with Maria. And she had interned enough, by the time she applied to APU, which is a hard school to get into, she gives just a school, the normal undergraduate, she got in the nursing program. She had her 2 years of going to school that way. She had enough volunteer and obviously good grades too to get there. The volunteering is what got her to that point. But understand, being a volunteer and intern and just finding a mentor to help you understand how the back end works, who's done well in that field, it saves you a lot of time and energy, helps you not reinvent the wheel. All right? Any questions yet? Yes?
Does it matter about like how old you are, like to volunteer?
No. It does for some places, it does. But the school has a program that allows you to go through there to have them have less liability and have you sign off on things. And have your parents sign off. But it's simple as, hey, do you accept volunteers? I have time on the weekend, after school, whatever it is too. And you that's a good question. Out of 10 people you ask, maybe 2 will say yes. 2 will say maybe. Okay? Out of those 2, one may say, we'll think about it. What happens is you have to ask 20 people, 20 offices, to get 4 maybes and maybe 1 or 2 yeses. What I did as an intern for me when I was in chiropractic school, I took the yellow page. Remember, you guys know what the yellow pages are?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, one person
One
does.
person.
One person does. It was our Google before Google. It was an actually book, like a big thick book. And when I came with chiropractic school, I said, okay, if I'm going to go and work after chiropractic, so I have to find a job, right? Support myself. What am I going to do now? I have 3.5 years I can do to get to that point. By the time I come out, I have a job ready to go. I took the phone book, took the alumni list from my school, LA Chiropractic College back then in Whittier. I was commuting up in Whittier every day. And I took that list, okay, how many chiropractors are in my area, how many on this list? I called all of them, about 12, between Upland, Rancho, and Claremont. About 4 said, come in, let's do a quick interview. Just to go volunteer, not for a job, just volunteer. Out of those 4, only 1 said, hey, come and help me out. I got lucky. There could have been none. But it took those 14 or so to call and have the confidence go, hey, I'm just a student here at your old school. Can I come and help you out, volunteer, and just kind of see what you do? 1, and if that 1 turned out to be a job, so by the time I graduated, I was working in this office. I had kids who I graduated with 6 months later are still not working. Kids, meaning kids in their mid-20s, late 20s. So you have to be able to think ahead, 1 step ahead, of what I want to do and how do I get there, how do I know or not know. You may want to be a vet. Okay, you can go to the Upland Animal Shelter and volunteer all you want. Once you get there and go, it's really not for me, great, you knock that out. You don't want to go to vet school, spend $100,000 and go, it's not for me. Give me a heart attack if that happened. All right? So you have to make sure you're getting some experience in the field you're thinking of getting into, so you know exactly what to do. Okay, this next video talks about the internship I did with one of my girls, Natalie from here. No, she's from Chaffee High School about 4 years ago. Let's see if this is going to work today. Lights. Thanks for the help back there, team. Appreciate it. Thank you. Talked about the whole thing, so we'll do this once and we'll
Well, this is Dr. Tony. What I want to talk about today is our internship program through our office, your chiropractic in Upland. What I want to talk about today is really how we work with Upland High School, local high school, Chaffee High School, Bellevue, ROP, and other schools too in the area. What we do is work with them to bring them the office so they see a healthcare professional office and understand how the patient interaction works together, how the front office works, how we get them to work sometimes with the patients doing therapy, running their x-rays, bringing back for other therapies too, and getting them scheduled and answering the phone. So we do the whole package of an intern. So I'm going to have Natalie talk to you. She's been an intern for about 2 months now, and explain her situation, what she's gone through so far, and how she's kind of developed her skills through observing in her office what we do.
I'm Natalie, and I am a junior at Chiropractic High School, and I am doing an internship here at Upland Chiropractic through Bellevue, ROP. And what I've learned so far is how to develop the x-rays and ultrasound therapy. And I never would have thought I would be doing this at a young age. And I was always so shy talking to people and answering phones. But now, I do have the confidence to actually pick up the phone and start a conversation with somebody. That's the number one thing you're supposed to do in this field.
To get the experience of doing that, applying that too, correct?
Yes.
How do you like the patient-doc interaction to observing that portion?
I actually love it. I understand now. I could actually understand now what they're feeling and how you connect to them, and it's just simple for you.
So hopefully now this experience you understand how we help our next generation of healthcare professionals, because Natalie will be a nurse in the near future, is getting the experience to really see how an office is ran. We're confident we do a good job with the patients. We have a good system we use. We allow interns a very simple way to understand what we do and get them to interact with the patients, get patients to be comfortable with that too, because they understand we're here to help them. Okay? If you guys give us a call. If not, have a great day. For Health Inside Out. And thank you for all your views and comments.
Lights. Thanks for the help back there. So a lot of what she's talking about is confidence, right? You gain confidence by experience. So get the experience with family, friends, whatever you can do, internships to and mentors, so you understand how to get more comfortable. That motivates you, so your next schooling again is going to be harder, correct? That's the plan. I would plan for that. I hope you do. At that point, motivates me because I want to get there. So it motivates me to keep going, keep going, keep going. What's the hardest part about staying in school, in this program, in a healthcare field program, school-wise? Most of your cool friends are doing something else on the weekends, at night, when you have to study for that test on Monday. That's the hardest part. Realize if your goal is this, how do I get there? Because I want to be above the average. The average person gets this grade, I get to be above that average. The average person studies this much, I get to be above that average. Okay? Realize how do you do that? The number one thing I find, just in general, is find friends with the same motivation and hang out with them, talk to them, keep yourself motivated. Let's go study on this Friday night while everyone's having fun. All right, this holiday, Monday's off. Let's go and study for Tuesday's test. You have to find friends and hopefully sometimes family to support you in your goal to get here, because getting in the healthcare field is not easy. Very rewarding if you get there, but realize half my class when I was going to chiropractic school you might think it's easy, half of them dropped out. And these are people with $40,000, $50,000 in school debt to the federal government. They will find you wherever you are for that money. Okay? Half of the kids that I graduated with, meaning kids early late 20s, sometimes early 30s too, half 5 years later doing something else. Part of the problem is when you get out to private practice, especially, you have to be able to run a business, not just get through school. You've already gone through school. All chiropractic school for me was to graduate and get my certification, my licenses, become chiropractor. I learned how to practice when I was interning, which was at a 10th semester, interning about the number in the 8th semester, or volunteering. So I learned that experience. By the time it came out, I knew how to run a practice, be with patients. So you have to have an experience to get you to that point. The schooling is there just to get your degree sometimes, or certification or license. Any questions about that? Patient care. Let's talk about that for a second. We talked a minute ago about attitude, right? Do you know what PMA is? PMA? Positive mental attitude. I talk to the patient about habit themselves to get themselves healthy, but also, again, myself, when I walk with a patient, I'm with that patient. I listen to them, okay? If the patient tells you guys know what sciatica is? Sciatica, have you gone over that yet? Sciatica is leg pain from the lower back down the leg, okay? There's something called, a term called like attracts like. When you talk a certain way, like for example, a patient would talk certain speed, volume, okay, or certain words, allows them to actually associate and like you because you're like them. So if the patient says, instead of saying sciatica, they say sciatica, I go, you have to go check out that sciatica. I'm not going to correct them because it makes them feel bad. Later on, I may tell them, hey, look, it's actually called this. But in that same sense, if you want to get that checked out, I'll call it the same thing they want to get checked out. Okay? If they talk really loud, I'll talk a little bit higher than I normally would. Talk really slow. I'll follow their speed of voice. Okay? You grab this chair right here. I'm going to use yours in a second, too.
We have like 4 minutes.
Perfect. Good. This is good. If they're sitting like this, here, what am I going to do? Same thing. Okay, if they put their hands on their hips like this, I'll do the same thing. Very subtle, but lets them know, hey, look, I can talk to this person. They'll listen to me. You can tell them what's going on. That helps me diagnose the problem, helps them get better. Overall, they're happy, I'm happy. Okay? Who knows how to sit right in a chair correctly? Anybody? No. Okay, good. How about your shirt?
Yeah.
I think you have 4 minutes left. Okay. You guys sit in a chair, how many hours a day you think in school? Feels like 3,000, right? Okay. Like 6 or so? Okay. Most people sit how? Like this. Okay, video? Good? Like this. Okay? When you do this, your back stays straight, stays stretched out. So at that point, it's stretched out, meaning that it stays very under tension. When you have that, there's no blood flow to your back. Your legs get very tired for 1, 2. Overall body tightens up. So my job is how do we help you get looser and stronger? Put your knees underneath your hips, so it's lower than your hips. Feet underneath you like this, if you can with your chair. So your body sits on the first third of the chair here to sit more upright. Does that feel weird? Does that feel weird? Scoot forward.
It's hard with the desk.
It's hard to desk, right? Okay. But can you bring your feet underneath you so your body sits more up here? Feel like you're leaning back more. The more you lean back, the more you stop doing this, have a weaker back, weaker shoulders, look like Aunt Mary in the corner over there. Okay? So you don't have to going home like this, like, what a rough day. By doing this, allows you to sit back here, keep your body upright, shoulders back for 1, 2. Your body stays relaxed. What happens is you have more blood flow. Talked about before, too, circulation to your brain, more oxygen to your brain, so you're not tired by the end of the period or end of the school, you're not exhausted. Like, I gotta go home, take a nap. All right? Good. I have 2 more minutes, I think. Any questions at all? Yes?
What's the most common reason that people go into your office?
Back pain. Back pain, neck pain. Pain coming from their spine, so I take the x-ray, see what's going on with their spine. What I do is adjust them, actually correct that, but also give them things to do at home to make sure their body gets healthy on their own. Yes?
Is it like bad cracking your back? Because I crack my back a little too much. And like I get in trouble like by my mom. She's like, stop doing
Yeah, they don't want to hear the sound of your back crack.
But like, is that like bad for you? She's like stressed.
There's a yes and a no.
Uh-huh.
Yes, if you're having overall problems where it's building up pressure, a joint builds up pressure in your spine because something's not moving properly. You have to need the normal movement and stretching. If it's not moving, so that can build that pressure. So for me, I'd want to take an X-ray to kind of see what's going on. Yes? For undergraduate 4 years at UCR, BS in biology, and 3.5 years at chiropractic school, and then you also take a state license, 4 of them, state boards, or national boards also a state ethics test. So those people actually passed the school, didn't pass the actual licensing boards. You have to study for both. Yes?
Is there something like overstretching?
No. Overstretching if it becomes sore or painful. Someone stretches, you want to go to where it feels sore, but not painful. You want to stay below that limit so you can cause muscle to guard tight.